right, good evening, everyone. So let's get started. There are a couple things I want to talk about, and then if you have any questions, feel free to type in the text box. The first is really, I don't know if any one of you here haven't got a chance to work on the midterm. I assume not, but I still want to mention that midterm is closing at 8 p.m. So if you haven't done so, make sure at least you start the exam before 7:30 so that you have some time to look at the questions. And then also the short paper 2 topic is due and short paper 1 is due as well. I want to start with short paper 2 topic. Either you submitted or not. I'm assuming everyone will have it done by 8 p.m. today. So I will start grading the topic tonight. I kind of changed my plan. In the email I sent out earlier today, I said I'm going to start grading tomorrow morning, but I think the sooner the better. So I rescheduled a few things. I'm going to start grading the short paper 2 topic tonight, and it should be done by tomorrow morning for sure. So tomorrow, I would say around noon, when you get a chance, take a look at your short paper 2 topic grade. If you got full credit, that means your topic is approved, and you can go ahead and work on your short paper 2 research proposal. Now, if your topic is not approved, you need to resubmit, and the new deadline will be Wednesday. So you need to resubmit by Wednesday, 8 p.m. Then I will take a look to see if your new topic works or not. If you are anxious and in a rush, you can also email me and tell me that you've already resubmitted your topic. Then I will take a look. Okay, so that's the timeline. The eventual goal is for everyone to get full credit for this topic submission. It's not an item that I want to take points off or penalize for whatever reason. The ultimate goal is everyone got the topic approved and got the full credit. And then for short paper 1 and the exam, I will grade them within this week. So the plan is by Friday, everything should be graded. I can't guarantee that, but I'll do my best to have it done by Friday. Now, the task for this week is really short paper 2 research proposal. Once your topic is approved, you can go ahead and work on it. And for this research proposal, there are 2 videos. I'm assuming you've already got a chance to review one of them, which is the video in which I give the topic examples to help you pick your own topic. And there's another video going over this guideline for you to know what is expected, what you're supposed to do for this assignment. I don't have much more about this research proposal other than the part I covered in that video. It seems by now almost everyone get used to the, I would say, my style in this course. That is, I require the file to be Word file or PowerPoint depending on the assignment. I also require the file name to be your last name by first name and the assignment name. If it's group work, I want you to name it as with all last names. Let's see. So for this new assignment, you also follow the APA style, and the word limit will be 1,000 words. And I want to emphasize about that is when I say the limit is 1,000 words, it doesn't mean I expect you to write a piece of work that is close to 1,000 words. You don't have to try to add more things if your paper turned out to be much less than 1,000 words. So as long as you included every required section and you included the required content, that is fine. If you use fewer words to accomplish the same task, that works for me. Just make sure you have all the content I required. Okay? And to me, I want to tell you that, to me, the longer doesn't necessarily mean the better. I want you to submit a work that is concise, to the point, directly, without, a lot of wording out there. So I guess I will emphasize a couple other things that I think are important. One is the note 5 you see here, is that when you write the research proposal, you are writing a plan, right? So you lay out the research plan. I do not want you to give textbook type of information, meaning that, say for example, if you want to suggest to conduct a survey, you don't need to talk about the advantage of using survey, the good part about using open-ended question. I don't want that kind of information. That's knowledge you'll learn from the textbook. I want you to state directly you're going to use survey and how many copies you plan to send out, what is the expected sample size you collect, just things like that. What you learned from the textbook should not appear in your research proposal, meaning that a lot of content in the textbook is explaining or showing you how to do things or explaining what certain terms are. So I want you to learn from there and use it, apply it in your research proposal. Okay? So we have a question here from Jeff. Yes, I mentioned Word or PowerPoint. PDF is not acceptable. The only exception is the academic honesty policy, because for that file, most likely you print it, you sign it, and then you scan it, which turns to be a PDF file. You can submit in PDF file for that assignment. But for the rest, I do require either a Word document or a PowerPoint slides document. So that's that. And so everything actually in red, as you can see here, are special points you need to pay attention. All right. So for example, number 3, you need to write in third person. I know this may, for some of you, may be kind of not the usual way you write, but in research proposal and actually in the rigorous research, we do use third person. We don't say I will. We don't say we think. Actually, it's always in third person, and to make it at least sounds neutral, because you don't want people to think, when you say I think, it's really all you think. Research is not really about what the researcher thinks. It's about what the data tells us, right? So we want to stay neutral. And I often say that when you write a research proposal, it's almost like writing a user manual. When you read user manual for certain electronics you purchase or appliances you purchase, right? When you read it, it's always in third person and always kind of dry, right? You don't feel like the writer is trying to approach you, is trying to connect with you. It's just laying out things. And same for research proposal. It's almost like writing a user manual out there. Is there a specific software you prefer for the voiceover? Not really, but the easiest one is Microsoft PowerPoint. You can do the voiceover just using Microsoft PowerPoint. I can't. So for this assignment, I don't require you to do the voiceover, right? For the next assignment, which is the data analysis project, you're going to do a voiceover. And I believe let me double check. I believe within that folder, I posted a link to do, oops, I didn't. I know. So I'm gonna add that. Yeah, I'll add the link. For data analysis project, you're gonna do a voiceover, and there are tons of tutorials on YouTube showing you how to record a voiceover using Microsoft PowerPoint. I will post one link there for you to as a reference in case you need to know how you do that. Oh, okay. All right. So there's no, yes. Thank you for the point, Amber. It's very important. So there's no voiceover required for short paper 2. It was mentioned in video, and it was totally an oversight from my end. I used to require voiceover for short paper 2, but I decided to remove it starting from this semester. So please just ignore that voiceover part for short paper 2. You only need to submit the written part, which is you write a research proposal, just like short paper 1. Although this time it's just your own work. There's no journal article for you to rely on. It's completely your own work, your own thought, but only a Word file for the written research proposal. No voiceover for short paper 2. I'm gonna send an email to the whole class and also make a note under the video for short paper 2 guideline. And again, thank you for asking about that. I even didn't realize it was mentioned in the video. All right, so overall, once again, one file submitted for short paper 2, which is the Word file, the written part. Okay. So back to the voiceover though, it's not required for short paper 2, but it will be required for data analysis project. And again, I will post a YouTube video for you to know how to make it. I don't think it hurts for me to mention this briefly, although it won't be due. The voiceover won't be coming up for 2 more weeks. But if you're using a Mac, a lot of times when you record voiceover, it may not be able to play on my PC. So I would highly recommend that you turn into an MP4 file or separate you submit the PowerPoint slides and then another MP3 file for the audio part. Okay, I'll talk more about it when we get there. But that's that. Let's see. Right. Another note I want to emphasize is number 4 here. When you talk about the issue or the opportunity in your research proposal, make sure you're using a neutral tone. That is, don't put your own emotion in it. A lot of times when we talk about issue, I see people tend to say, oh, this is so serious that if we don't do it, the company will go bankruptcy. Or I had students saying that the student did a research proposal on Nokia, right? And we all know Nokia, Motorola are used to be number 1 in the world, but not anymore, and they're struggling really hard, right? In the research proposal, the students put so much emotion in it and described how wonderful Nokia used to be, and then said the research proposal intend to make Nokia number 1 in the world again, which is unfortunately unrealistic. So I don't want you to put your own emotion in it. When you describe it in a neutral way and just lay the fact. If you say, for example, if you're looking at declined sales, just mention sales declined by this percentage from what quarter to what quarter. That's facts. And you want to lay out the facts for people to kind of form their own impression how serious the problem is. Or the same for opportunity, right? When you see opportunity, you mention why this opportunity is worthwhile pursuing right now, but don't try to persuade people to agree with you. You lay out facts for others to, again, form their own opinion whether this is a good opportunity or not. All right. So that's that part. And this doesn't happen that often, but still, I want to emphasize that when I ask you to provide the background, I ask you to provide the background of the issue or the opportunity. I do not want you to tell me about the company itself. Okay, I don't need detailed company information. I only need detailed information about the issue or the opportunity, right? And make sure you don't give me a conclusion because you are laying out a plan. You don't know the result yet. You can't give me conclusion. So that's that. And I do have required layout. While you can have some flexibility in terms of the content, I do want you to follow what I laid out here. I do require you to have every section laid out here. The background in which you describe the situation, and then purpose of the research. This part will be very short. I just need you to tell me why you are proposing the research. Okay, what is the purpose of writing this research proposal? And then research design and sample design. Here you describe what data you want to use, how you, if you're gonna collect your own data, how you collect your data. You also need to mention what type of research this is about, whether it's exploratory, descriptive, or causal research. I just recognized a typo there. So I will correct it. So it shouldn't be casual. That's a serious typo. It should be causal research. And then one section is new for short paper 2 in comparison to short paper 1, which is the budget and time schedule. I spent quite some time in the video explaining what you need to include in budget and timeline. Again, I want to emphasize that this is a required section. You need to give me the budget with itemized cost. You also need to provide detailed schedule. So overall, I need a total budget, total time, and also detailed budget, meaning itemized cost and also detailed time schedule, how long it takes for each step to be carried out. And finally, if you included any references in the text, make sure you provide it at the end of the paper. And that's all about this short paper 2. And that's all I can think of mentioning. And this will be your main task for this whole week. Well, but still, there's textbook chapters you need to go over. So make sure you review these lectures. They are not directly reflected in this assignment, but you are learning as you prepare for the final. I know it's kind of early to talk about that, but the final will be about the textbook chapters. And this is why sometimes you kind of feel like there's mismatch. I'm writing this research proposal, but it's not really related to every textbook chapter. And yes, you are learning the chapters in the textbook to get a better understanding of business research. All right. So that's all I have, honestly, for tonight. Not much more, but do you have any questions? Yes. So for midterm, if we submitted yesterday but need to make a change on the file, can we still submit by 8 p.m. tonight? So if you submitted yesterday and you want to resubmit, the only change that I will allow is to change the name of the file. You cannot change the content in it. If that's what you plan to do, yes, you can resubmit, change the file name, and I always grade the latest submission. And that is a good point, actually. Just so that you know, even for the midterm, the file name is supposed to be your last name, first name. If you didn't name your file correctly, you can rename your file and upload to the assignment folder again. And for those of you who do not know, yes. So thank you, Amber. You need to submit the file to the assignment folder. All right. Any other questions? Was there anything specific that we are supposed to put in the blank space at the end of the gathering question? No, not really. So I have to say that the setting of the exam is not the usual one you would expect. But unfortunately, there's no way for me to allow for D2L to accept file attachment within the exam. And I honestly don't think multiple choice questions for Excel is appropriate. Or, I mean, to me, it's not feasible. I don't think using multiple choice questions can reflect what you know about Excel. And really, Excel is a skill that's very practical. So I believe asking you to really carry out some steps is more important. And the only way I can think of is really give you the exam, give you the questions, but then ask you to upload the file outside exam into an assignment folder. I do hope one day they can make change to the setting, but as of right now, I don't see any trend that they will make a change. Yes. If I email it with no change made to the file, I can still submit. Yes, you can still submit. And actually, if you emailed me your file, I take that as an on-time submission. You still need to upload it to the assignment folder, preferably before 8 p.m. But if you have to do it until tomorrow, that is fine. As long as you upload to the assignment folder before I graded, let's say Wednesday, that should be fine. But again, the assumption is you emailed me already as a proof of on-time submission. But what time tomorrow will the topic be approved by? I would say by 12 noon for sure, but I will start grading tonight. And my understanding is that when I post a grade, you usually receive an alert or an email letting you know that a new grade is posted. So if you receive that, then you know your topic is graded. Okay, let's see. All right, so if there's no more questions, I would say let's call it a night. And then meanwhile, whenever you need me, just feel free to email me. Other than that, I guess we'll talk again in a week. And again, thank you for coming to this lecture. I'm not sure why, but I can't talk well tonight. So I guess it's better for me to end now. You all have a good night and take care. I'll talk to you in 1 week.